we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's a big play there on 3rd down. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago. And you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Looking to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. And that one his first incompletion in his last 6 passes. And it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. They get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Bad move. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. Third and long for Prescott. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Over.
Now a handoff looking right. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Detroit! Gun!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun!
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 6-3, that's our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun!
they try the right side here. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
No. Check. Patriot.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 59 yards.
Detroit!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken to the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Again to Elliott. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Elliott, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A dump off to Elliott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll drop the throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to float this one deep. And got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 52 yards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw again. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. 9 seconds to play, and likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Final play of the half, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some...
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation, but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Prescott now from the 50. On the shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's got it to Williams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go. Warning! 26! 26!
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Drops it underneath to Elliott, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to float this one deep right. This is caught inside the 15. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, look at the juke. A second nice move, a spin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
He's going to get it running right, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The give is to Elliott. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Bryant's extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Here's Prescott. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. A first down throw for Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 60 yards.
Detroit! Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
And they'll go on the ground. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He'll look to throw. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here comes flags. This is going to get him the first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Prescott on first down. On the left side, he finds Beasley. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Prescott now on 2nd down. Going left side, it's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. It wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Here we go.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. Dak finding the former Jag Hurns for the Dallas first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and 10, Prescott finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go.
2nd down, Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 1st down, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Prescott looks to throw on first. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and short yardage. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. His throw incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Falcons, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL.